Okay, math time. We've been talking about shapes, and the last 2 days we've talked about two-dimensional shapes, like this kind of round-cornered rectangle here. A two-dimensional shape has length and width, but no depth. In other words, it's flat. Okay? So flat shapes is what we've been working on, but today we're going to talk about three-dimensional shapes, like these here. Okay, I've got 4 three-dimensional shapes, and I'm going to start with this one. Now this has length and it has width, but it also has depth. I can pick it up. It is a three-dimensional shape. Now, if you want to argue, this this shape here actually is three-dimensional also because I can pick it up. But if you draw it on a piece of paper, it's just flat. But this is a three-dimensional shape. The name of this shape is you remember? Cube. This is a cube. It has corners. It has sides, or edges. The right word for this is edge, a corner. And does anybody remember the name for this? It's called a face. Now, how many faces does a cube have? A cube has 6 faces. One here, and then 4 going around the 4 sides. 6 faces. Okay? So that's a cube. Who remembers the name of this three-dimensional shape here? This is a cylinder. Okay, so a cylinder, by the way, what flat shape do you see in the cube? Squares. There are 6 squares. The face is the shape of a square. Now look at the shape of this face. This face here is a circle. We have 2 circles on a cylinder, and then it has a round face. I think this can still be called a face on this side. So this is a cylinder. Now let's take a look at this three-dimensional shape. Remember the name for this one? This is a cone. Here we have an edge here, and we have a corner here. What shape do you see here? A circle again. Okay? The last three-dimensional shape I want to talk about is do you remember the name for this one? It's a marble, right? But what's the shape? This is a shape of a sphere. The hardest one for kindergartners to say. Sphere. You say the word fear like you fear trying to say this word, and then you put an S in front of it. Sphere. This is a sphere. Okay? All right. So, take a look at this cube. I'm going to make me a cube, and I have got together some straws here and some pieces of clay to make this cube. So, question is, how many of these straws am I going to need? Well, if I were to count the edges all the way around here, I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. By the way, you can make this along with me. Toothpicks would be a good thing to make a sphere with. I mean, I don't know why I keep saying sphere. Would be a good thing to make a cube with. Okay? Now, how many corners have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So I have got 8 balls of clay here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to build a square. A flat shape of a square. This is going to be really cool. So like I say, you could, after you watch me doing this, you could say, man, I want to try that. Toothpicks would be good straws would be good, just like I'm using straws. Okay, now I've made a square. Now I need 4 more, and I'm going to make another square. That's going to use up all of my balls of clay. Are you worried that I'm using all my balls of clay? Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. I know what I'm doing. Believe me. Okay. Just keep sticking. Just keep sticking. One more ball. Okay, bam. Now I've created a second square. Now I have 2 squares. Now, how am I going to make this to be a cube? Well, I'm going to take these guys and I'm going to stick them right into the clay so that they stick up. That's pretty smart. Pretty cool. Okay, now all of these are wanting to stick on the table. Now I've got a square with, it's like a little table, huh? And now all I have to do is stick my other square on the top. Sticky, sticky, stick. Sticky, stick, stick. And voila! Which here means a French word that here means, look at this. I've made a cube out of straws. Now the faces are not there, right? The face is just an empty space. But I have corners and I have edges to make this cube. Pretty darn cool, huh? All right, now let's take a look at your work here. Have you looked at lesson 3 problem set? On this side, I'm going to show you this one first because I'm going to show you how easy this one is. This is the easy one. All you have to do is cut on the outside of all these dots, all the dotted lines. Do not cut here. Do not cut any of these shapes. And you'll end up with a T, right? Throw the paper away. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fold along these lines and get some tape and tape all the edges together, and look what you get. You get your own cube. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, so that's the cube. Now on the front of the page, and I'm hoping these are separate. If you have this like I do and this on the back, then you're in bad luck because you got to cut this shape out too. Now, look at this. Do not cut out 3 shapes. Don't cut this one out and cut this one out and then cut this one out. Don't cut here or here. You can still do it if you do cut here accidentally, but if you keep these here, you're going to end up, let me get my tape here because I'm going to need it in a second. You're going to end up with a shape that looks like this, right? Now, what am I going to do with this? I'm going to roll it up like this. Do you know what shape this is going to make? I won't spoil it for you. I want the size to tape it about here. Now check it out. Since I kept this glued on, I can just fold that over and tape it on. Sorry, I wasn't even showing you, was I? Tape it on there and fold this a little bit. And fold this there. You are for sure going to need some adult help with this. Man, if we tried this in our class, it would be a lot of work. But check out what I've done. This is what shape? A cylinder. So if you do the problem set correctly, carefully. Now, if you accidentally cut these off, you can still glue them on the ends, right? Obviously. Okay? So here's a cylinder. Here's a cube that you made for the problem set today. Now, let's take a look at your exit ticket. Exit ticket is way easier. It's just has you look at these flat shapes and then find the object, the three-dimensional shape, that has that shape on it. So you draw a line from the flat shape to the three-dimensional shape that has this kind of a face on it. Easy peasy. Now after you do that, we've got a couple more things for you to do. I want you to do Lesson 3 Fluency Template 1 today. We'll do the other one tomorrow. But you're going to need a red crayon, a green, orange, blue, and yellow. And what they do is you figure out what the math problem answer is. 0 plus 1 equals what? And then whatever number it is, well, 0 plus 1 is 1, right? So you're going to get a red and color this box red. And then whatever the answer is, you're going to color that color with the crayon that it is. Okay? And then we still have a lesson 2. We have 2 more of these lesson 2 fluencies that I want you to do. So let's pop back here. The one I want you to do today is Sprint C. Okay? Time yourself. See how long it takes you to do these. For all of these, the whole is always on the left. On the right. So that's a little bit easier. Sometimes it's minus, sometimes it's plus. Be careful to make sure you're doing the right thing, adding or subtracting. Okay, and then that is our math lesson for today. Thanks, guys.